So you think you know how America was founded? I mean, we all grew up with the same story. Pilgrims on the Mayflower, religious freedom. Thanksgiving dinner, freedom-loving patriots standing up to the British, all that warm, fuzzy stuff. But here's the thing, that version, it's only about half the story. The truth is way messier, darker, and honestly way more interesting. Let's rewind the clock to the early 1600s. The British weren't sending over freedom fighters. They were sending over businessmen, literally. The Virginia Company, a joint stock company, funded the first permanent English settlement in Jamestown in 1607. Why? Not to build a new society or chase liberty. They were chasing money. Tobacco money, to be specific. It was all about profit. And those pilgrims we love to talk about. Sure, some were seeking religious freedom, but mostly for themselves, not for everyone. The Puritans who landed in Massachusetts Bay in 1630. They didn't believe in religious tolerance. If you didn't follow their version of Christianity, you were out. Ask Anne Hutchinson or Roger Williams, both exiled for having the wrong views. So let's kill that myth right now. Early America was not built on freedom of religion. It was built on religious control. Now let's talk about land. The colonists didn't settle America. They took it. Indigenous nations had lived here for thousands of years with complex societies. Agriculture, trade networks, but the colonists saw it all as up for grabs. From the very beginning, colonization meant violence, displacement, and broken treaties. The so-called founding America was also the beginning of centuries of resistance that's often ignored in the history books. And slavery, it wasn't a footnote, it was foundational. By the time the American Revolution rolled around, the economy, especially in the South, was completely dependent on the slave labor. Cotton hadn't taken off yet, but tobacco and rice had. Enslaved Africans were the engine of American wealth long before the country even declared independence. That whole land of the free thing, yeah, it was written by men who owned other human beings, including Thomas Jefferson. Speaking of the Revolution, was it really about freedom, or was it about money and power? The British Crown was taxing the colonies, sure, but those taxes were actually pretty low compared to what people in England paid. What really ticked off the colonists was that they had no control over where that money went. They wanted self-rule, but also they wanted to keep expanding westward into native land. The British had said was off limits after the French and Indian War, and many of them didn't want the British interfering with slavery either. Now don't get me wrong, there were incredible ideas in the founding of America, the Declaration of Independence, that all men are created equal, line revolutionary for its time. But here's the catch, it didn't apply to everyone. Not to women, not to indigenous people, not to the enslaved. Those lofty ideals were real, but only for a select few. What's wild is that from the beginning there were people calling that out. Abolitionists, feminists, native leaders, people who saw the contradictions and fought to close the gap between the myth and the truth. The founding of America wasn't one single moment. It was and still is a long ongoing struggle to actually live up to those ideals. Even the Constitution written in 1787 was a compromise. It protected slavery, it didn't mention women. It gave more power to property owners than to the average person. The founders weren't perfect heroes, they were complex, flawed political men. Some were visionaries, some were opportunists. Most were both. So why don't we learn this stuff in school? Well, for a long time. America's history was written by people who wanted to create a clean, patriotic version